Welcome back to the channel, everyone, in this week's review of The Acolyte. The director of Episode 3, now known as the infamous Space Lesbian Witch episode, returns because, well, why not? Half of Episode 7 is recycled footage from Episode 3, which begs the question, where did all the money go? $25 million per episode. What the hell did they spend it on? And as per usual, let's get to the positives before getting into the negatives. And a spoiler warning is in effect, not that anyone cares. Not many people are watching the show. In fact, the Nielsen numbers are out, and The Acolyte's first two episodes got a combined 488 million minutes viewed. The first episode being 45 minutes and the second episode being 39 minutes. A little actual real math and you get less than 3 million people who watched the first two episodes, only to get a bump in viewership numbers for episode 3 due to its controversial nature, and then a sharp decline to the point that season 2 of The Acolyte is rumored to be canceled. Now, Disney won't come out and say this right now. That would be stupid, because who's going to watch a season 1 of a show that has no future? Not many. Anyways, episode 7, the positive. That's where I was going. Well, we get to see a Wookie in a lightsaber battle. Finally. It looked clunky and awkward, but at least we saw it. It was probably the best fight sequence of the whole show. Fans of Carrie-Anne got to see her again. And apparently she's not a nice person. Of course she isn't. She's a Jedi. Let's see. What else? Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. This episode proves to me that the whole series is a contest to see who can make a more boring episode week after week, and the various directors and Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy must have some sort of wager riding on it. Money, dinner, cars, something. I don't know. But each consecutive episode challenges the viewer to give up, walk away, not come back. A great television show makes the viewer want to see more, to come back next week, to be invested. But this, The Acolyte, gives the viewer every reason to just not come back. And at first it was the content, the lore breaking and the progressive identity and gender political statements. But after that ran out of steam, it's just been poor writing, boring plot twists, if any, predictable and obvious mysteries that are sussed out well in advance by anyone with an IQ over 50, terrible acting, terrible direction, illogical occurrences like a mountain of rock burning down. But don't fear, if episode 7 has one thing going for it, yes, we are going back to Lesbian Space Mountain for a different perspective. Saul's perspective on what actually happened to the witches. And anything could have been better than what we were given. Who killed all the lesbians? Well, the lesbians apparently killed themselves, or maybe Carrie-Anne used the Force to use telepathy to suck the life force out of them, or they were chanting together in another pre-orgy ritual and they all just reached their climax and faded out. Really, you just don't know. The lesbians can turn into black floaty space dust, but somehow still get stabbed in the chest with a lightsaber, so bye-bye Mother Anastasia. And the other mother seems hell-bent on killing the Jedi and encouraging violence amongst her children. The Jedi are still a bunch of child safety officers, and Saul, with no real evidence, claims the twins are in danger. The only white guy is a wimpy, whiny simp who wants to go home, so much so he believes that kidnapping the twins is the best course of action. And this same simp falls under some sort of spell where he is teased by Mother Anastasia, so not real sure what's going on there. And neither do the writers, because nothing is ever explained or given context. There are just multiple force powers being made up as this show goes along. Why? Because the writers keep writing themselves into a corner and need a way out, or, and I suspect this is the case, they're lazy. So yeah, the big mystery, who killed all the witches? The answer is multiple choice. There is no clear answer given, although this episode is meant to give a clear answer. And when you're not getting new footage, you're getting old footage. And in the end, the Jedi agree to lie to the Jedi Council, and I'm pretty sure a council of Master Jedi, including Yoda, are going to be able to tell that they are being lied to, but that's the benefit of not having to include any of them in the series. You don't have to write yourself out of that problem. And Saul's guilt, having saved Osha instead of May because he was not strong enough, even though he free climbs mountain fortresses to break and enter with the rest of his Jedi criminal friends. And now we know why beta male white Jedi decided to hide in a force coma for over 10 years, because he didn't do that much wrong, but still feels responsible? When we're all sure, because we've seen it, that it was the lesbians who initiated an attack and who turned all dusty and menacing instead of remaining calm. And now there's only one episode left, and we do not have any type of conflict to resolve other than a Sith running around, so they kill him and we're done. Everything's done. Everything sort of just peters out and dissipates. like a fart in the wind. The narrative structure of this show is so muddled and devoid of any substance or meaning that I am really wondering why they are even bothering with an 8th episode. Seriously, someone just needs to go stabby on the naked Asian guy from episode 6 and we can all call it a wrap. That's a 5-minute job at best. I mean, God, this show is awful. I mean, just awful. It's the type of show that not only hurts the Star Wars brand, but the Disney brand. It makes us look at other upcoming D+ series and think, is it going to be as bad as and as much of a waste of time as The Acolyte? And that's this show's biggest crime, the damage it is leaving in its wake. It's one thing to crash and burn on your own. It's another to crash land and take out a few city blocks in the process. Those people really didn't deserve to be collateral in this dumpster fire of a television production. And Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy should apologize to those other shows for tying a rock to their waist as they try to tread water and stay afloat. And that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did you watch episode 7? Do you care about The Acolyte anymore? And do you think a season 2 is warranted after what you've seen? And if you want more Star Wars content, check out my Star Wars playlist and also check out this week's installment of Retro Movie Review Theater by clicking on the thumbnails at the end of this video. As always, thank you for watching. Remember, I'm still your reluctant gringo from south of the border. Salute, and a huevo.